Hi there and welcome to Code Coach. Our series on how to partition a system continues. Today it's part 4, Customer Notifier. It is really important to learn as a software developer on how to partition a system into logical modules or classes that are easy to understand, pluggable. It's kind of the closest thing to a developer superpower that you can have. Learn the information in the series inside out, digest it, reflect on it, comprehend it, internalize it, and share it with others. Let's look at where we left off last time. So last time we were working on our registered new customer use case, this business logic workflow, and we're registering. We've got our register method with the customer registration data being passed in. The developer had gone ahead and done the email sending in here, which is really not the idea. And that's why we're talking about partitioning a system. How do we move this functionality, this code out into other kind of components? Part of it we'd already done. We have introduced an emailer interface, iEmailer, and via that, okay, we can inject an emailer that implements this interface on the constructor, and then as long as we go emailer.send the email that we've created, we can go ahead and use any kind of a general emailer, like an SMTP emailer or an AWS simple email service emailer. As long as it implements the interface, which we've got here, send the mail message, which is the email, we're fine. All right, let's come back to our use case. What I would like to do today is look at the workflow again. So I've introduced, I think it was in part 2, the idea of the 3 buckets, which is a technique I use and you can use as well to split up responsibilities across a system like this. Bucket 1 contains the pure business logic or workflow. This is the what a system needs to do. And I've got that up over here. So bucket 1 is general workflow. This is specific to the high-level workflow, i.e. what we want to do, like I've just said, and we want to send the new customer a welcome email message. Can you see that there was a problem with this? Yeah? Any idea what it is? It's emailing is a mechanism. Should we be emailing? No, we shouldn't be even mentioning particular mechanisms in our workflow. How can we fix this? Well, how about this? We cross out email. How about now? We want to send the new customer a welcome message. We're not specifying how we're doing it. We're just specifying what we're doing. The welcome message could be an email, but it could also be a text/SMS message, or it could be an in-app message. So we're leaving that open. And what that means in our code is that we want to move this code out. So let's define a new interface. How about customer notifier? And we send a welcome message and we pass in the customer. The customer would have information like first name, last name, email address, telephone number, so for texting, for example, and so on and so forth. So it contains all this contextual data that we need to either email or text, or possibly for an in-app message as well. We might want to go, hi, Bob, so the customer first name would be required. Let's see how the register method could look if we introduce customer notifier. And I think what we should do is we're going to replace the emailer in here, and we're just going to make this the notifier. Okay, and going to replace emailer here as well, and we'll make this the notifier. All right. So notifier here and here. So we can now inject a customer notifier. That might be an email, an emailer, or it might be a customer specific emailer, or it might be a customer specific SMS sender. We'll come back to that. And then what will happen is this kind of thing, what we've got here, that will fall away. I'm just going to comment that out and just extract it a little bit down here. I'm change what we've got here to notifier.send welcome message with the customer. Doesn't that look great? So it says we're validating the registration data. We then turn that registration data into a customer. We're saving the customer. If all this is fine, we're saving the customer to the repository, which you can think of as our database. So these are all high-level, chunky workflow steps. Our notifier will send a welcome message to the customer. No detail about emailing or texting or whatever. It'll work for any of these. It's a high level of what we're doing rather than how we're doing it, and we're returning the customer. This is fantastic. So why don't we go ahead and implement a particular customer notifier? So something that uses this interface. So public class customer emailer, and it implements customer notifier. And what we can do is we can kind of say, hey, implement that interface. Fantastic. And now we're going to go and say, do all that work that we did before. We've just shuffled it around a little bit. Made it more object-oriented as well. Our welcome email body. Okay, that needs to be moved as well. But I think we're kind of nearly there. So we've got a customer emailer now. It implements customer notifier. And surely at the same time, if we wanted to, we could have a public class customer SMS sender or something like that, which would implement our customer notifier. And here we could now go ahead. Okay, I'm just going to remove that. We could, I'm not going to do the work. We could use a tool like Twilio or something else to go ahead and format a SMS or text message, and then using some sort of service, using a SMS service, send this message. I mean, the message would be for texting is usually quite different from emailing it. They're more concise, they're shorter. You've got texting language. With email, you wouldn't have that. Email you might well have in, okay, we haven't got that here, but you might have it in HTML. That's not going to work for SMSing. So as you can see, we wrote new code to manage, simulate SMS sending, or here we've wrote new code to do emailing. And actually, hold on, this isn't quite right yet. With the emailing here, we're not actually sending something that we've lost. Emailer dot, not quite. So it's emailer and then dot send, and we send the email. And what we're going to do is we're going to have and we had this before, just directly on the use case, a private emailer. So we do need to have general emailing capability in here, and because we're retaining that, it means that we can we've got a customer emailer, but we can still use a different kind of emailing technology. We can have an SMS emailer or an AWS emailer, as we did before. So here, our constructor, we will inject the oops, no, that's not right. our emailer, and then we've got so emailer is equal to emailer, and everything is looking really, really good. So we're forming up the email message, and then we're sending it using our pluggable emailer. Thank you very much for watching part 4, the customer notifier of how to partition a system, which is a really, really useful series. It is so important to be able to do this as a software engineer. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.